You, sir, yeah, Terry, I think it is.
Terry Needham, Marathon High School. I'm just looking at some sort of general pattern over ever since the mill's been closed. And what I understand was when the first order came out, it was a fairly strict order that the mill absolutely remove every last drop of black liquor from the mill. And then, of course, time went by, and while they didn't get all the black liquor, so we sort of lowered the bar and said, well, okay, we can pump the black liquor and we'll store it temporarily in the ABS pond, and then we could pump it out in the summer. Well, the summer's come and gone, and so we lowered the bar again a little bit. We said, well, okay, now I understand that we've pumped some of the materials in the ABS pond directly into the lake, albeit with some parameters. But I'm just wondering how long are we going to keep lowering the bar before?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's not lowering the bar. There's certain conditions within the orders that have been placed that they're responsible to do. And until that time, until a decision is made or a settlement is made, long-term decommissioning of the site won't happen. In relation to placement of the material, there was a decision made through the ERT about placement of the material in the ASB. I forget. I'll have to double check my notes. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the right information related to that. They do require to meet specific criteria prior to discharge. So there is some testing, and they have to meet certain parameters and make sure that there's certain treatment that occurs prior to discharge.
Well, I'd like to disagree. I mean, they are, from my point of view, they are lowering the bar in that when when the mill did shut down, the initial order was get everything off site, transport it to wherever it was. Well, we have lowered the bar. It is still on site, so to speak, and they're not transporting it out.
The majority of the black liquors and the bunker C and all that material has been transported
Well,
off
that's
site.
the majority. I understand, well, from the ABS pond now,
Yeah,
they are pumping directly into Lake Superior with some parameters.
No,
but
not
those
right
parameters,
now. No, they drew down the ASB at first. It needed to meet certain criteria prior to discharge. Right now, nothing's going into the lake. They're holding off. They did it to ensure that there was sufficient freeboard, so say in the springtime after snow melt, that there's no concerns related to how full the ponds are getting. And in the spring, there is a commitment for further treatment of the material. And if it doesn't meet the criteria, then they have to ensure that the treatment's there to meet the criteria prior to any discharge.